What's up, everyone? I'm Sleepy Shotgun, and today I'll be reviewing episode 76 of My Hero Academia. Now, before anything else, I'm going to go ahead and just give my review score of this episode right away. It's a 10 out of 10, a 5 out of 5, 100 out of 100. Whatever scoring rubric you have, it's a perfect score. I'm going to be diving into my review, so I'm going to give you a spoiler warning right away. If you haven't caught up to the latest episode of My Hero Academia, episode 76 to be exact, please click off the video. Okay? Fair warning. I'm going to start the review in 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. For everyone that's still here, I cannot stop gushing at how good this episode was. To me, it felt like a real game changer. Everything that Deku's been working for, everything that he's been doing throughout the series finally came to a head, and it was a beautiful thing to see. Now, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, so before anything else, let's backtrack to the beginning of the story. My Hero Academia this season has done a masterful job at storytelling, basically tying up loose ends, like just in the beginning sequence of the episode, showing how Ochiko and the rest of her team got to the final battleground point. Then this is moving forward to the backstory of Chisaki, who the eventual reveal that he was the one that put his boss basically in a vegetative state. The man that took him in, he put him in a coma. There was so much information, so many reveals, that I cannot just stop gushing at how good this episode, but I'm trying to remain a little unbiased, but it's kind of hard at this moment in time. Now, if you didn't hate Chisaki before, you absolutely hate him now. It was just too much, absolutely too much what I saw, and I'm a manga reader, what he was doing to Eri. It was inhumane. It was absolute child abuse to its fullest extent. There's no way around it. It was terrible. It was something that a human being should never do, and it just brought to light just these are villains, and we are dealing with very real issues in just a different sense in the world of My Hero Academia. And it was great to see that they were willing to go to this extent to show that. The build up to the eventual bout between Deku and Chisaki was executed to perfection. From, again, the backstory with the Hasaikai group before he put his boss into a coma, to when you saw how desperate Chisaki was and just combining with his henchmen to gain extra power, because that's part of his quirk and what he could do. Throughout the season in general, Chisaki has done everything in his power to keep a stranglehold on Eri, going as far as saying, you are the reason this is happening. While he's not entirely incorrect, they're there because they want to save her from what Chisaki is doing to her. It's disgusting for no other way to put it. You can see exactly how twisted this man is and what he's willing to do to fulfill his desires and what his ideology is. It's the same maniacal way that Stain thought, but in a different sense. He wants to hurt people just to hurt them because he doesn't think that's what a hero is. Now, moving on, let me just take a moment to appreciate the music score that was used during the rescue sequence of Deku and Eri. All other noises were muted. The music fades in. You just see Deku reaching for Eri and Eri reaching back. Eri, the same character that earlier in the episode, is pondering just why everyone's doing this. It's so out of character for her to feel like there's someone that wants her, because I think in the previous episode you just saw that her own mother abandoned her for killing her father accidentally because she doesn't know how to control her quirk. So knowing that, she comes to the realization that, yes, these people are here for me. I don't know exactly why they're doing this, but I think in her gut, I think I should let them save me. And she reaches back for Deku's hand, and it was an amazing, incredible moment. And it was tugging at my heartstrings like crazy. I'm getting a little choked up just kind of thinking about it. Just seeing how much abuse she went through, and finally realizing that, maybe not realizing that she's worth something, but to someone else, they're here for her, and they want to help her. So she wants to see what the other side is. Also, during the sequence, Deku reaches out and says something that resonates with the entire audience who's viewing this episode, saying, this time for sure. If you remember, way back when, a couple seasons ago, when Bakugo got kidnapped, Deku reached out his hand and he couldn't save Bakugo. He just fell short. And there's a theme that that you can't save everyone. Even All Might proclaims that. And Deku, his dream is to want to be a hero that can save everyone. And it starts here. This is someone who he doesn't know, nor can he care less that he doesn't know anything about her. He knows what she's going through, and he wants to make sure this stops. Now, the portion of the fight where Deku, well, prior to the actual fight, Deku jumps up away from Overhaul because Overhaul is going a little crazy, and he's combining, or what's it called? Fusing. There we go. That's a better word. Fusing with one of his henchmen to become bigger, then causing rubble, collapses, and just debris to fly everywhere. Deku goes up, jumps in the sky, gets away from him, realizes that he's not hurt because he instinctively used 100% because he's not thinking right now. He's not trying to control. All he's thinking of is keeping Eri safe. And then he realizes that, oh, this is Eri's quirk. This is what Chisaki was talking about. This is why she's so valuable to him. While he goes on and says that this is a curse, Deku proceeds to call her a blessing. Those are two diametrically opposing ideologies that showcase just kind of how one other person's view could kind of change your perspective of yourself. And Eri's got a long way to go, and it shows in this episode that she's not ready to accept everything that has been done. And like, she's not going to forget either. Moving forward back to the episode, Deku and Chisaki proceed to fight. My goodness, it was the best fight sequence I have seen in a recent memory. My only knock on it is that it was just so short. And there was a reason. It jumped straight into a flashback after Deku's initial basically asking or request to Eri that I'm going to, or can I use your help kind of thing. I'm forgetting the exact phrase that he used, but do you want to fight together with me? And Eri obliges. Moving forward to the actual fight sequence, he kicks Chisaki up in the air. You catch Toga's eyes. Best girl Toga. That, wow, Deku, and just like how strong he is. Which also, the League of Villains is there so they could see and scout how strong Deku will eventually become and how much of a threat he will be in the future as well. And as much as it's a knock on my part, it's just me being a little nitpicky because I wanted to see more of this amazing animation that looked like top tier movie quality kind of stuff. But it is faithful to the manga. As I said earlier, I am a manga reader and I know this event happened, and as great as it was in the manga, I kind of wish they extended it just a little bit more, but it was amazing nonetheless, so I can't really complain either. Yeah, but we head into the next, I was about to say episode, sequence of events, where Deku pretty much goes full Super Saiyan God times Saitama's fist and absolutely obliterates Chisaki. And now that I think about it, the fight was so short because as strong as Overhaul is, there's no way in hell that he's as strong as Deku at 100%. That's basically putting him above All Might or One for All or any of those other villains that came before him. I don't even think Overhaul is as strong as Staten. That's my personal opinion. The episode concludes with Night Eye staring at the events from a distance and proclaiming the statement saying, does that mean, can it be changed, referring to All Might? To this day, obviously in the manga, we still don't know. But I do have a reference that I want to make to the Avengers when Doctor Strange, I almost called him Dr. Stone, Doctor Strange goes ahead and looks at Iron Man and says, if I tell you what's going to happen, it won't happen. Now, my hero is not the Avengers, so anything could happen from there, but that's my theory and I'm sticking to it until further notice, okay? This episode had some of the most stunning sequence of events that I've ever seen within the series. And that's not downplaying everything else that's happened up to this point because we've had All Might versus Nomu, All Might versus All for One, Bakugo versus Deku, Deku versus Todoroki, a bunch of different fight sequences. But this was the first time that I saw the students be heroes, if that makes sense. Everything that the series has built up to, everything from this season that they built up to when they found out the students found out they were going to be a part of this plan to save a little girl they don't know about. A lot of details were given. They might not have understood the full extent. The character development of pretty much Kirishima, Sun Eater, Ojiko, Froppy, and a bunch of other characters. And Mirio in the last couple of episodes, getting choked up thinking about that myself. It was the perfect storm of events, and this was the perfect conclusion to that arc. Now, I know that there's going to be another episode that's within this arc, and this is dealing with the aftermath, but this is my logical conclusion to everything that's currently going on with this arc. Everything they've worked for pretty much ends here because Chisaki is defeated. Brings me a lot of joy knowing as a fan that the source material of the manga is in really good really good hands with Bone Studios, and that they put the effort that they put in. Like, the animation's always, and this is just me speaking, the animation's always consistent. There's never really a drop. Yeah, all kind of anime series have like their times where you're just like, ugh, but there's never anything too jarring, and I'm really appreciative. And then when they really want to put everything they have into an episode, they do it, and they execute perfectly above and beyond, plus ultra style. So I'm very appreciative of that, and thank you, Bone Studio. This episode, I said it earlier, gets a perfect score with whatever criteria, whatever rubric that you have. It was amazing. I wish the fight sequence was longer, but at the same time, that's not going to take away from the score. If you stuck around long enough, thank you so much for staying through my entire review. If you like this video, please give it a like, possibly subscribe. I plan on doing a lot more reviews, reactions, and just discussion videos about animes and mangas that I really enjoy. I'm new to YouTube. My name is Sleepy Sharingan. So until next time, guys, sayonara.